We know that the muscles move our bodies. The muscles move our bones so we can move in space. And we're gonna do this rubber band analogy. So we can imagine our muscle being like a rubber band. It can lengthen and it shortens again. Do you notice it also shortens and it can also twist? We've been led to believe that the muscles in our body, that the definition of flexibility is to lengthen our muscles. When really, think of the word flex, ability. The definition of flexibility is the health of the muscle to be able to move in all ways, to lengthen, to contract, and to rotate, twist as it needs to. So think of our muscles when we're young, and we're those wee bouncy babies and little ones with lots of energy and no pains in the body, and we're just doing whatever. Our muscles move very freely, right? They expand, they contract, they twist. There's no issues. And then as we get older, some things happen. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about fascia and why this happens. Now, fascia is like it is a 3D semi-crystalline matrix in the body. It's meant to be pliable and hydrated and move and flow. Energy flows through it. All of communications in our body flows through it. You can imagine it a little like this. You know, these little meshy bags that our oranges and lemons come in, right? So it moves in different directions, and it's kind of like the structure of fascia in our bodies. Now, our muscles work within the fascial matrix. So when our fascia is nice and healthy and this muscle moves, well, the fascia moves with it and allows the muscle to move, right? The muscle's moving, the fascia is allowing the muscle to move, everything's great. Let's say we're now about 30, 40, and we've been doing things we love to do, activities, but perhaps repetitive motions in the shoulder or hip. I had it from cooking, a lot of this, also from sitting at a desk, working, commuting, even how we sleep. What happens is the fascia begins to lay down more connective tissue, more layers to protect us. It's a protective mechanism. But in time, over time, that fascia becomes dehydrated and dense, and it doesn't slide and glide as well. So now we have our muscle, and it's within this saran wrap, and it's moving. But see, it's not moving as easily. The saran wrap is a little bit restrictive, so it's doing its thing, but there's some restriction, and it's having to pull. When I pull it this way, there's some compensations in another area to allow it to move. Then perhaps we've had a trauma to the area, an injury, or even emotional trauma that affects an area in the body. We know we store emotions in our tissues. Then the fascia becomes very dense. It's considered to be like scar tissue in the body. The muscle's trying to move within the fascia, and it's literally being restricted as if it's like a straitjacket. It's trying to move, and the body is struggling. And we see this with people who are having a hard time moving their limbs. So if I have a lot of scar tissue in my bicep and I want to move my arm, I'm trying to move, but it's restricting me. The shoulder's perhaps going to take that motion, right? It's going to pick up what the other muscle's not being able to do, or what the muscle's not being able to do. So the movement goes into the joint. So this is what happens over time. The fascia becomes dry, less pliable, less elastic, dysfunctional. But we can make it functional in our bodies again. Now, here's the thing that I want you to know that I asked you to hold on to the end of the video. We've also been sort of led to believe, or our understanding to date of fascia is that it's like a layer beneath the skin, right? We can roll it out in classes, we can blast it away, or do other manipulations from the outside in to get at the fascia. And that's true, we can, but that's just one layer of fascia. We now know that fascia penetrates the muscles, the muscle fibers, the nerves, the cells, all the way to the bone. It penetrates everything in the body. It is so integrated in our bodies, and communications and energy run throughout it. So energy flows in the path of least resistance. And if our fascia is dense and tight, there's no chi, prana, energy moving through that area. Now we can affect it from the inside out, okay? So this movement, this fascia flow movement, is a method to change the fascia from the inside out on those deep levels as well as the more superficial levels. What happens over time, as I've experienced, and I'm so happy, excuse me, I get all choked up talking about it. Now I have freedom in my joints again. I had pain in my neck, in my shoulder. I was getting monthly prolotherapy, and if you're not familiar with that, it's injections by a naturopath into the areas in the shoulder and joint and SI joint. And now I move freely and my body feels great again, like I'm in my 30s again. I want to bring this to you. Some of you are already joining my classes and loving it. This is such valuable work in overall health and wellness. And diet's a big component too, because as we eat healthy, that also nourishes the fascia from the inside out. But this is a movement practice, and fascia is its own unique tissue and requires its own unique movement to affect change. So I'd love to hear from you. Comment below. Let me know if any of this is new information to you, and if you're excited to learn more. My site is fasciaflow.com. I'd love to see you in class, but also just reach out if you have questions. This is such transformative work, and then you can keep your fascia moving freely like this beautiful 3D matrix, and your muscles are moving within it, feeling all loosey-goosey and great again. Yes, I just said that. I think it's time to sign off now. Go enjoy your cuppa and your chocolate. Thank you for watching, and reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, see you soon.